Hello everyone. Our today's topic is class 10 chapter How do organisms reproduce? As we all are aware of that in the syllabus 2020-21 a chapter control and coordination is eliminated. So we have to start a new chapter, that is how do organisms reproduce. And in this chapter, we have already completed asexual mode of reproduction. We have already finished sexual mode of reproduction. We have already finished asexual mode of reproduction, in which we have studied about budding, spore formation, multiple fission, binary fission, fragmentation, regeneration. So now we have to start sexual reproduction in flowering plants, that is in angiosperm. In flowering plant, flower is the main sexual reproductive organ, and a flower consists of four main parts. The first part is this green color like leaf-like structure, which is called as sepal. The second part is this colorful purple color. Petals. Petals can be various color. It can be red, white, pink, any color. Then the most important part is the male and female part. This three and this side three parts you can see over here in the diagram is called as male reproductive part. It is also called as androecium, and in middle you can see one uh, thick rod-like structure which is known as female reproductive part. It is known as gynoecium. So a flower consists of these four parts: sepal, petal, male reproductive part, that is androecium, then female reproductive part, that is gynoecium. So if flower does not have all these four parts, then the flower is called as, if it is having all the four parts, then the flower is known as complete. And if it does not have any of the one part, then it is called as incomplete flower. Now let us see the structure of androecium and gynoecium in detail, because these are the main sexual reproductive part in flower. So let us see its structure. This is gynoecium. Gynoecium is also called as carpel or pistil. Gynoecium consists of three main parts. The uppermost part is stigma. This is the neck-like structure which is known as style. And the lowermost part is called as ovary. Inside the ovary, ovules are present. This is the ovule. And inside ovule, eggs are present. And stigma is the place where uh, pollen grain, which comes from male, sits over here, or stigma receives the pollen grain. Let us see the male reproductive part. This is the male reproductive part, which we call this as an androecium. Androecium consists of anther and long tube-like structure which is called as filament. Inside the anther, small pollen grains are formed. Pollen grain travel from one place to another. A pollen grain has to move towards the female and towards the stigma. And this movement of pollen grain towards the stigma is called as pollination. This is the pollen grain which are formed inside this anther. Now let us see what is pollination. Pollination means the transfer of pollen grain from male part towards the female part, that is towards the stigma. That is from anther, the pollen grain will move towards the stigma of the female, and this is called as pollination. Pollination can be self-pollination or cross-pollination. So there are two types of pollination. One is known as self, another one is known as cross-pollination. Self-pollination means transferring of pollen grain from the male part towards the female part of same flower is called as self-pollination. Whereas cross-pollination means transfer of pollen grain from one flower to different flower is called as cross-pollination. Plant should be also different. So it is called as cross-pollination. Pollination takes place with the help of agents, and these are called as pollinating agents. Insect, birds, animals, air or water are the pollinating agent. So from anther, the pollen grains move towards the stigma, and it has to come towards over here. So this is the stigma. Pollen grain will come here. When it comes over here, whether it is self-pollination or cross-pollination, the pollen grain consists of double layer. The outermost layer of the pollen grain is known as exine. The innermost layer of the pollen grain is called as intine. So the outer layer is called as exine, another layer is known as intine. Inside this pollen grain, there is one nucleus. When pollen grain is moving, pollinating at that time, this nucleus breaks into two. One nucleus is called as generative nuclei or generative cell. Another is called as tube nuclei or vegetative pollen nuclei. Now, again, there will be a division. This division is a mitotic type of division. The generative nuclei again breaks into two. And this two, now there will be three nuclei. First, there was one, then it divides into two. It is called a generative cell and tube nucleus. Tube nucleus is also called as pollen nuclei and generative nuclei. Generative nuclei again breaks down into two. So how many nucleus are there now? Three. One tube nucleus and two from here. Generative nucleus is broken down. This two, which is formed from the generative nucleus, is called as male cell, and this work as a this do the function of fertilization or fusion. So total there are three nucleus present now. As the pollen grain comes over here towards the stigma, this is the stigma. So this pollen grain forms a long tube-like structure. You can see a long tube-like structure is formed over here. This tube-like structure is called as pollen tube. As the pollen tube grows, the pollen nuclei starts degenerating because pollen tube takes all the nutrition of pollen nuclei and only two male nuclei is remain. Pollen tube grows and moves down towards the ovule. Pollen tube grows. This is the pollen tube, yellow color structure you can see. This is the pollen grain. It grows and it moves towards the ovule. And it consists of two nuclei. One is already degenerated during the growth of pollen tube. So two male nuclei are there, which is going to fuse. Inside this ovule, there are 8 cells. Among them, one is known as axil, 2 synergids, 3 antipodal, and 2 polar nuclei. One of the male nuclei will fuse with the axil, and another male nuclei will fuse with the polar nucleus. The fusion of egg and male nuclei result in the formation of embryo, and it will move and form zygote. The fusion of polar nuclei, 2 polar nuclei are there, and the male nuclei result in the formation of endosperm. So, after the fusion, the ovary turns into fruit. The ovule turns into seed. Egg turns into embryo. Egg and male nuclei has been fused over here. This is called as fertilization. So here it will result in the formation of embryo, and polar nuclei as well as male nuclei, 2 polar nuclei and 1 male nuclei has been fused over here, and it will result into formation of endosperm. So as I have told you, let us see what is the resultant of fertilization. Ovary will turn into fruits, then ovule will turn into seed, then due to the fusion of egg, when egg is fused with male nuclei, it will result into zygote, which later forms embryo, and 2 polar nuclei fuse with 1 male nuclei it will result in the formation of endosperm. So these are the resultant of fertilization. Since there are two times fusion, one fusion egg with male nucleus, another two polar nuclei fuses with the male nucleus. Since there is two time fertilization has been taken place inside over here, so it is called as double fertilization. So this process is called as double fertilization. As well as two polar nuclei has been fused with one male nucleus. So this process of fusion of two polar nuclei with one male nucleus is also called as triple fusion. So this type of question has been asked: what is double fertilization or what is triple fusion? So these are the resultant of fertilization. So we have completed how does reproduction takes place in flowering plant, that is angiosperm. Thank you.